It's me, Lori Suna Thirda. I hope you're having a fantastic day. The sun is on the rise, and happy rising. In the past, I've talked to you a lot about this great book that I've read and that I plan on memorizing. So I keep going back and returning to it and reading it some more. The Four Doors. It's a guide to joy, freedom, and a meaningful life. And isn't that what we all want? So it's a guide to joy. But I have to tell you that you got to bring the joy. I really believe that you can make the decision, since our thoughts, we're talking about our thoughts in our brain, we can choose to have joy, and we can see the good in everything. So I have a friend who says, wow, meaning watch our words. What we think seriously changes the physiology of our body. Science now knows that 70% of the diseases and the illnesses that are on the earth today, and especially in America, we've got cancer and all kinds of stuff. 70% is created by your thoughts. So we have a choice to change that. And you're thinking, how? Because some of it's subconscious and we're not realizing it. But we have total control, because we've been given by the universe, by our Creator, the power to control and direct our own mind. So we have to make choices. And it's not easy, but we can do it. I know we can. And this book, a lot of what I like about this is that it teaches us to go from victim to victor and have victory over our own lives and master our lives. So I know that I've had victim mentality, and there are times when I recognize myself stepping back into it, and it doesn't work. It never works. So realize that. And so you might be somebody who has victim mentality and doesn't even know it. And it's affecting parts of your life and you don't know why. Sometimes it keeps you stuck, or you keep repeating a pattern. You're like, I did it again. So anyway, with that, our thoughts are powerful things, and they really are things. And so I want to read a part in here that's the power of an idea, just to give you some things to think about. On July 16th, 1945, at an Army testing site in the desert near Alamogordo. On July 16th, 1945, at an Army testing site in the desert near Alamogordo, New Mexico, the first atomic bomb was tested. No one who had gathered that day to witness the blast was sure what would happen. Can you imagine? I can't imagine that. In fact, there was a pool among scientists about how big the explosion would be. There was an outside chance, voiced one scientist, that the bomb would set off a nuclear chain reaction that would destroy the entire universe. Can you imagine? And I don't know if you can hear the shots in the background, but down over the hill where I'm filming right now is a shooting range. So if you do hear that, that just was kind of interesting. That went boom when we were talking about explosions and stuff. Anyway, can you imagine being a scientist that believed that this could be it? Setting off this bomb could end everything in that moment. While the universe was spared, the explosion was enormous. Its energy equivalent to that released by 40 million pounds of dynamite. Million is really hard to fathom, but 40 million pounds of dynamite is an atomic bomb, equal to all the energy produced and consumed in the United States every 30 seconds. It's hard to believe. Man, it's hard to grasp. That's every car, lamp, dishwasher, airplane, diesel train, factory, everything. However, this energy was released in a few millionths of a second and in a volume only a few inches wide. The resulting explosion was terrible. The 100-foot steel tower on which the bomb was mounted was completely vaporized. Can't even imagine. Dissolved. Nothing left. The cloud formed by the explosion boiled up to a height of 35,000 feet. That's higher than Mount Everest. Whew, it's a doozy. For hundreds of yards around the blast site, the surface of the desert sand turned to glass. Can you picture that? Desert sand. Not just for feet, but 35,000, oh no, that's 35,000 feet. Let's see, how many blasts? Hundreds of yards, not just feet, turned to glass. Remarkably, the atom that started the explosion was so small that 1 million of them lined end to end would roughly be the width of a human hair. Let me say that again. The atom that started that explosion was so small that 1,000,000 of them lined up end to end would create roughly the width of a human hair. See how small that is. The atom is the perfect metaphor of an idea. Like the atom, the infinitesimally small spark of an idea can start a chain reaction that will not only change our lives, but possibly even the world. The Egyptian pyramids, democracy, communism, the Great Wall of China, even the atomic bomb, each began as in an idea, right? An idea in one mind. Now I know that you do too, that sometimes you have an idea, someone else has that same idea somewhere around the globe. Because haven't you gotten to the point sometime where you're like, someone created or invented something and you're like, wow, I thought of that. That's amazing. So I believe ideas are things, thoughts are things, and they do float through the ether. That might seem kind of out there, but I think science is going to figure that out too. So, but these ideas began in one mind. These ideas, once shared, interacted with others' ideas, which set off a chain reaction that grew in force until they were of sufficient energy to create massive physical change. You want to see massive physical change? The China Wall. Holy cow. Just as important as the physical manifestations that new ideas can spark are the permanent internal changes that take place within our own minds. Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote, "Man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never, there's where you can say never regains its original dimensions. The more deeply we think, the more questions we ask, the smarter we get, and the larger our brain grows." So, to understand the truth of this assertion, just consider the global impact of ideas such as Christianity, communism, evolution. So these are things that you can think about, and you can think about them all day long, right? So my friend, I hope that gives you something to grasp on with, and I hope that ideas will just continue to flow through your mind and out into the universe, and that you'll come up with some super ideas that are going to benefit you and change the world. I know you already have them in you. I know you're already connected to infinite intelligence, and everything you need to succeed, to have joy, to have freedom is already inside you. And I believe that with all my heart, with all my being. You were meant for more. You were made for more. And you're here for several purposes that are inherently just unique to you. So get out there and just make it a great day. And I look forward to seeing you soon. You can come visit me at MajesticU.com, where you'll find some freebies for you to help you, like my motivation, my Majestic Mastery Manifesto, that you can take and use as your own. You can change it so that it fits more for you and what your purposes are. And you can find some other methods and techniques that I show you there so that you can move yourself forward in a better way. So with that, my friend, again, take care. Bye for now, and we'll see you again soon.